Your learning objective for lesson 3 is today I will learn how to compare and order fractions with like numerators. So once again, we're working with fractions. This is also a review lesson. We've already done this earlier in the year. This is just review. So we're going to be working from least to greatest with all of our examples. Now, whenever we have like numerators, we know that whenever we have a fraction, the number on top is the numerator. The number on bottom is the denominator. So if I gave you these fractions, you can see that what they have in common is like numerators. Now, whenever you're trying to compare and order fractions with like numerators, what you're going to do is look at your denominators. That's what you're going to do right there. And a trick with this is the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. And if we're working from least to greatest, wouldn't that mean that our biggest denominator would go first? Yes, so we would say 3/15, then 3/9, and 3/8 is the correct order for these three fractions from least to greatest. Now another example, we'll do 5/8, 5/11, and 5/12. Well, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. So our biggest denominator is 12. So we'll do 5/12, 5/11, and then 5/8. Okay. What about this one? 8/10, 8/17, and 8/13. Alright? The bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. We're working from least to greatest, so look for your biggest denominator. Easy peasy. 17 is the biggest number. So you're going to do 8/17, then what comes next? 13, 8/13, then 8/10. And that is the correct order for these three fractions from least to greatest. Least to greatest. Okay? Now, what about 2/8, 2/6, and 2/9? Okay? What's our biggest denominator? 9. So you'll do 2/9 first. What comes next? The 8 or the 6? The 8's bigger, so 2/8, then 2/6. Now, let's change it up a little bit, and we'll say from greatest to least. We're working from greatest to least is how we're going to order our fractions this time. So if I gave you 7/12, 7/11, and 7/18, how would we order that from greatest to least? Well, we know the bigger the number the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. So what we're going to be looking for then is the smallest denominator, because that'll mean it's the biggest fraction. So what's our smallest denominator here? 11. So we're going to say 7/11. Then what comes next? 7/12. Then 7/18. And that's ordering them from greatest to least. Greatest to least. Now for our next, 4/12, 4/6, and 4/15. So if we're working from greatest to least, we know the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the fraction. So we're looking for the smallest denominator, which is going to be this 6. So 4/6, then 4/12, then 4/15. And that is the correct order for these three fractions from greatest to least. And that is all of the examples that I'm going to show you for today. I think you are very well prepared. I think that this has been enough review for you, considering how long we worked on fractions during the year. And I have an assignment uploaded for you. All you have to do is complete it, take a picture of it, and submit your work into that assignment box, and you are finished.